Okay, guys, sorry. This is Neon for CLOWNFISH TV. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles. We did start another live stream earlier. I had to pull the plug on it, though, because I didn't have stuff set up right, because I've been gone for a couple days, and my brain
I was like, where's the chat window?
Yeah,
you didn't change the title. What's going on?
Yeah, I know. I just hit the streaming button. And
well, he didn't get back until really, really late last night, so...
Yeah, I'm still kind of jet-lagged. So anyway, we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about Rainbow Brite. And some other reboots, because, obviously, Geeky went off on She-Ra and some of the changes.
I wasn't very happy when I saw this either.
No, she wasn't very happy about this. This is about 2 weeks ago, I guess. Dynamite made the announcement that they were going to reboot Rainbow Brite as a comic book series.
I saw it like Friday or Thursday night. I saw it Thursday night.
Yeah, and I was out of town, so we didn't do anything on it. So we don't know. Honestly, we don't know where this is going to go. People have some concerns about the artwork, which looks very like a teenage Rainbow Brite.
Well, just on the one cover, there's 3 covers, and 2 of the covers look like Rainbow Brite, and one of the cover looks like that. That's not what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about some of the quotes and by who's doing it.
Yeah. Okay. So the creative team is Jeremy Whitley and Brittany Williams. Jeremy Whitley is probably best known for Princeless, which is a very it was very popular. It was very popular, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't kind of agenda driven, entertainment. And Dynamite, Dynamite is known for the James Bond comics, which haven't been too terribly well received by some folks. So, chat window's down here.
Oh, sorry. You put the wrong one. Now people know who you talk to.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry. You didn't do what you're supposed to be doing because you're not paying attention.
Okay, so anyway, so Rainbow Brite, the Rainbow Brite reboot is coming from Dynamite, and so let's see here.
Rainbow Brute. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I'm concerned about that. It's just, Rainbow. Here's what I'm worried about with Rainbow Brite. Rainbow Brite was a little girl character. There was no sexualization agendas of Rainbow Brite. But now I'm worried about that because of some quotes we're seeing.
Yeah. Okay. So the quotes here. This is kind of like
I'm all for Rainbow Brite as long as it's done well.
They're talking younger readers, which is fine. I mean, that's actually I'm down with that. But where was the quote here?
It was on the video too. Right there. You moved down. Oh, no.
Here we go. This is why we're kind of worried it's going to be like kind of agenda driven and not like just an innocent kid with rainbow powers trying to bring, color back to the world, because, the world needs a young hero clad in a rainbow now more than ever, in a world where things are often simplified into black and white, and it's easy for people to turn their back on people not like them.
Oh, well, really? You mean like saying that everybody who doesn't like something are whiny man baby, incel, misogyny, and everything else? It's really easy to simplify that and completely gloss over women and marginalize them and act like they have no voice whatsoever and just focus on, like they did with the Starfire conspiracy. Everybody's like, we don't like Starfire.
Starfire conspiracy.
Well, no, I'm calling it that because most people didn't like Starfire because they thought she looked like a hooker and it made her look bad. It wasn't anything to do with her being, black. And then they took that and made it's about her being black after they just got done being mad about Black Buffy. But they're like, in a world we need, it's not often black and white. And everybody just simplifies it down. And I'm like, you guys are like the core, simplifiers. If you don't like it, if it's not you don't really agree, and that's okay. It's you don't like it, so you're obviously a misogynist. You're obviously an incel. You're obviously a man baby.
Yeah,
and then they'll start articles about the man babies are mad.
The man babies are
mad.
And
the women who don't like things are the ones who don't even get acknowledged.
Yeah, the comments on this one haven't been too great. Can I close this?
Yeah, you could have closed it before. Why won't close?
It won't close.
Sorry.
Okay.
Well, then...
There we go. Okay. So I'm looking at the comments. I'm going to delete this chat window here for a second, and we're just kind of looking like original Rainbow Brite will always be best. Same with Care Bears. Everybody's kind of going on again about, the design.
There was a little bit of both on that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. I mean, here's the thing about this one.
If it's like Rainbow Brite, the old Rainbow Brite, I'm all for it. If it's like a Rainbow Brite that's going to be about what I think they're going to do, I'm
almost guaranteed it's going to be a very political Rainbow Brite because of who's writing
the Rainbow comment
and who's publishing it. And that's kind of a weird comment to make. If it was going to be based on the original show, which is a little girl, and honestly, I mean, Rainbow Brite had no agenda. I mean, the original show was basic. I mean, if it had some kind of a like plot line, it was like battling depression, wasn't it? Because she like used rainbow powers to fight.
Which totally applies today, because it seems like every other person on Twitter says that they're depressed or have anxiety disorder. I'm one of them, but you know, it's like that makes more sense.
Oh, hey, Captain Cummings is on. Super Cosmic Mutant Honey Candle Squid. Thank you for your comments. Yeah, we're going to pull up the 2014 version of Rainbow Brite, which
there was a 2014 version that came out, but it kind of disappeared. It looks
looked like a train wreck.
It looks like a My Little Pony.
Yeah, it was very
meets Rainbow Brite. It looks like My Little Pony meets Rainbow Brite. Look, see, wait till you see the face.
And this went like nowhere. Like nobody cared about this.
The legendary hero is back to make everything all bright. Look, she's My Little Pony. You slap some ears on her. It got the hair looks like a tail.
Yeah.
She has the same movement.
It's the Flash.
It's My Little Pony. It's a human My Little. It's Rainbow Dash.
Yeah. Super Cosmic. We need a nickname for you, Super Cosmic Mutant Honey Candle Squid.
Why? That's pretty awesome.
It is, but it's a lot to say in one. Candle Squid. There we go. Candle Squid.
There you go.
So, but yeah, it looks very My Little Pony, and I think they don't know what to do with Rainbow Brite, because she's just like
Well, how about we don't keep trying to reboot her? That, you know, and that's the thing. And this is where the whole question of what is originality, why doesn't originality exist anymore, which we're going to talk about that in a minute. But it's people are doing it are Dynamite Comics, and it's supposed to be out this fall. Is that when it's supposed to be out?
October, and we're not. I think what concerns
there's nothing you can find
like
on it.
They show the cover. Well, they show one of the covers. And one of the covers it has like a teenage version of Rainbow Brite. The other one looks more like.
So we don't know which one it is.
Like childish Rainbow Brite. You know, this is
her
the
face
more.
Looks like an alien.
Well, I think this artist worked on My Little Pony. And then they have, of course, this is like right off the greeting card art right here.
That's Rainbow Brite right there, baby. That's it right there. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. So we don't know. The thing is, there's no interior art. So we have absolutely. I heard they're rebooting Strawberry Shortcake, but they gave her powers. Oh my God, that sounds
seriously.
awful.
I know they rebooted her before, and she still was pretty. She looked more modern, but she still was pretty much Strawberry Shortcake. You know, a little bit less. You know, oh, it's a berry. They said a berry, which was annoying. She wasn't so burying everything, was she? You know.
No, the last one.
Sad.
Our daughter actually. Well, she watched two of the Strawberry Shortcakes. They had the early 2000s one, which was actually kind of close-ish to the original, and then the new CG one, which was kind of like Bratz with Strawberry Shortcake. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And she didn't really get into that one too much.
No, but she liked the other one.
I mean,
I don't know why they keep rebooting everything. Anyway, so they're going to be doing this comic in October, and I wouldn't have worried too much if I saw that cover, and that's what they're leading with. And then I saw that quote, and I'm like, what? The world needs a young hero, clad. So they're going to keep her young, clad in the rainbow now more than ever. I'm like, why say that?
Yeah.
And where things are often simplified into black and white. Says the people simplifying everything into black and white. You're either against us or you're a misogynist man baby. And women who don't agree don't exist.
Here's the thing. Like, we haven't seen enough of this to even know what, you know, like I said, I don't know if this
I'm hoping it doesn't.
I'm hoping she's still a kid and not a teenager. And beyond that, now the artist is actually... the
artist actually isn't too bad.
Brittany Williams, who's actually done a lot of, like, kid-friendly art.
Yeah, so I'm not too against that.
Yeah, so... you know, that's not too bad. I mean, she's actually got really cool style. And she's done some work for Boom and Archie. So I'm not worried about, I just am concerned as to whether or not it's going to be a like teenage Rainbow Brite or a kid Rainbow Brite.
It's confusing because the covers are all, but where would that come in? The other two covers make sense because they look like the original Rainbow Brite. Why would they have a teenage Rainbow Brite for no reason?
Because I'm thinking she's probably going to be older.
That's what I'm thinking.
And if she's going to be older and they're, you know, making comments like this, I'm like, oh, hey, thanks for the super chat, Midnight Cherry. You did not have to do that. But thank you very much.
But we're concerned. I'm concerned. I think more than you are. But you know what? Is there a demand for original Rainbow Brite? Why, yes, there is, actually.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Now, Rainbow Brite's actually owned by Hallmark.
Now I'm saying original Rainbow Brite.
Yeah, because you're not even seeing any of the 2014 stuff. Like, they just completely... If you go to the Hallmark website, they're really cashing in on the nostalgia. They've got a lot of the original dolls.
I actually want these.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll take that.
There's like all kinds of crazy cool stuff on
the itty bitties, I love.
Cool.
They had those out for a while. They've been out for a while with Rainbow Brite. Yes, I'll take the itty bitties. Scroll down. Yeah, look, the sprites are really there, and they're very, very cute. Oh my god.
Yeah, these look almost exactly like the original
Except the face
toys.
is a little bit large, but still.
Well, they were plastic.
I love them so, and I had plush ones too. I had them. I had plushy ones. So I mean, I'm like, this stuff I love. I mean, keep going down, and even the itty bitty. Oh, look, there's Puppy Brite. Oh my god.
Yeah, so this stuff is really cute. This is actually
Starlight.
this is all the original. Is there a demand for original She-Ra? Yeah, I think so, because every time every time Mattel brings out an original She-Ra toy of some kind, she sells out like immediately.
Yeah, but people want original She-Ra. That's the key there. They didn't want whatever this is going to be. So it comes down to, why do we have to be unoriginal, and why, when we, and it's interesting because we were talking about this. And should we talk about the quotes first? We should talk about how it's, DC superhero girls too, and because that's more of a new thing.
We can. I mean, we're okay. So this now, I guess where I'm not as concerned, because this is, I mean, frankly, this is just a tie-in comic.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, like, the tie-in comic is not like a She-Ra animated series.
Right.
It is like apocrypha. The comics very seldom influence any like major media decisions or anything as far as this kind of stuff goes. It's just like a cash grab. It's a licensed thing,
Yeah.
So even if this is like completely nerfed, it'll be like,
I'm looking at the eyes, and they made her irises like her pupils. I mean, stars, and I'm like, I'm kind of torn between that. That's kind of cool, but that's also freaking me out. And I can't figure out why. She looks like she's ready to go
clubbing.
Or she's like, I'm going to hit, like, I can see some more contacts like that, and let's go.
Like I said, I mean, again, this is a case of, man, there's all kinds of traffic today. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, okay, so this is, Captain Cummings makes a good point. We were going to talk about this, actually. Some of this has to do with copying in the 1980s, which honestly was a huge push of exploration of media overall, which is, look at Stranger Things, you look at Ready Player One, you look at, and it's almost like, I almost feel like we're in a freaking, like a time warp, like the record needle is skipping.
Yeah, but here's the thing about those two. You can't really use those as an example, because they basically took inspiration from the 80s, but made something new. Yeah,
but it's almost like today's youth don't have anything to, there's no...
That's theirs.
There's nothing... Because we joked before, we said...
do. Steven Universe, Star versus the Forces of Evil, Gravity Falls.
Okay,
and those are all originals. What the problem is, like Stranger Things and like you said about Ready Player One, is they're using that 80s nostalgia, and they're using the 80s thing, but they're creating something completely original with it. They aren't trying to change it.
Right.
That's the difference.
But it's almost like everybody realized, like, it's almost like pop culture peaked in the 1980s.
80s was the best.
And then it's been like a downward spiral since then. So everybody like wants to go back to that. They want to go back to like, because that's the last time.
Everything was original.
Think about it. Yeah, I think the 1980s was the last time we had almost entirely new concepts, entirely new shows, entirely new movies, toy lines. It probably was 1980s, because in the 90s they started to bring stuff back again.
Well, in the 90s they started doing all the reality TV shows.
The reality TV shows.
That.
So maybe this is all sort of like,
But wait, what's going on?
We're trying to keep with the comments here. So,
but
Ready Player One was good, Captain. You should check it out.
It is really good, actually. It's very good. We go up to Blake's comments. I retweeted this on Twitter the other day. Blake Northcott had said, some of these things here. And the first one I saw was, if I wrote a 007 comic, novel, or film, Bond would be hard, drinking, womanizing, charming, and deadly. There would be fast cars, hot Bond girls, and crazy villains. Key elements, and change key elements, and you're no longer writing Bond. You're forcing your own wish list on an established franchise. Right. And I think that sums up why everybody's upset. Because there is no originality. And what's going on is these studios, which we said before, they don't want to take risks on new things unless it's somebody they're secure in. What?
We have talked about this. Matt Deckard, okay? I gotta say, Geeky and I have talked about this. 70s look like 70s, the 60s look like 60s, 80s to now. You can mix or match. Actually, I would say because we joked before, we said there is no distinct fashion. Like, I think after the 90s, after the grunge blew through, like at that point we just started recycling all of these different styles from other decades. Mm-hmm. There was no...
it always kind of did come back. Like, I know that in the 90s, the 70s stuff came back, early 90s and stuff. But there were distinct looks for each decade until we hit about, like mid-90s, and then it was just...
I mean, from the early 2000s to now, like, there's not much difference at all in style. Mm. Where we used to have a huge difference in style and culture and pop culture every decade. It's like anymore. It's almost like we've lost our sense of.
Well, that's not true. Have you seen some of these fashions for men on the runway? where they're wearing skirts and leggings and different
No,
things
no,
like
no,
that.
that's not real. That's not real. I'm talking
mean,
like everyday people, like actual
like,
people.
I'm just like, okay. But then she said about, back to the comments about that, and that's exactly what it is, because these studios, they want established IP, but then they get mad when they take established IP and they try to make it into something different instead of creating something original. And that we'll take this established IP, and that's a good idea. What established IP can we take and change it to hit this idea you want to hit? We have a built-in fan base and we have name recognition.
Yeah.
And instead of like taking a risk on new, there's a big truck, on new things, we're just going to do that, and then it just causes a bunch of backlash. And then they said that don't like a character, this is 2018, go draw a new one, go write a book, go make a comic.
Yes.
No one is stopping you, literally no one. The very end, buried entry, I lost where it was at. What was I reading? Okay, the very entry in the marketplace has vanished. If you don't like the character, you're always free to make a new one or a better one. And that's what we're saying. I'm like, okay, Rainbow Brite. Well, why don't we do something new and not be Rainbow Brite, but what you want to change it to, or She-Ra? Why don't you make a new character? Why couldn't you do it as her daughter or something like that if you wanted the She-Ra tie-in? Something so it's not going to offend the old fan base, but you're going to have something new, and I think everybody would be okay with that if it was her daughter. You know what I mean? Or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird. It's like I said, I feel like, because you look at Ready Player One, especially look at the movie, and they're still basically their heads are still stuck in headspace is still stuck in the 80s, in like the year 2045 or whatever it was. Like we're still recycling and regurgitating. And
that's because the 80s was just that.
Yeah, I know,
awesome.
but I'm saying it was almost like the last decade that we really had truly unique pop culture. It had a definite look, a definite feel.
Yeah, yes and no, I think.
Other than the internet, it's almost like the internet came and then everybody just started like becoming a lot more homogenous.
I don't know, but yeah, that's
I don't know.
Maybe. But like, I mean, so where does originality, come in? Because you have stop rehashing everything, and then what they do is they get mad because people, they take a fan base that loves something, and then they're gonna bring it back because it's as close to whatever their new thing they want to pitch as possible. So they just tie it into an old IP, and then when people don't like it, then they get really pissed off. And then the whole black and white thing they bring out with the whole, what he was saying, and then they label everyone because they don't agree, and they belittle everyone because they don't agree, and they said it's not for you because you don't agree. And I'm like, but you're banking on my fandom to carry, or people like me to carry this new thing over with that name, and then we don't like it, and then your answer to us is, well, F you don't count. You're just a misogynist man baby.
Yeah, they can't take the criticism. And the thing that gets me is like, it's almost like we have an entire generation of comics creators, TV show runners, filmmakers. They're basically paid fanfic authors.
Right.
Like they're basically, they're taking somebody else's thing.
And I agree with what Ink Rose is saying. There's so many original concepts out there made by small creators don't get picked up because they're not nostalgic. Exactly. There are so many original ideas out there. There are so many fantastic stories out there. I would love to see them take that and do something new with it. And it can be similar because they were inspired by, there's a lot of stories out there like, oh, this was inspired by She-Ra. This was inspired by Rainbow Brite. And it's a completely new story. And it's similar. It's inspired by, but it's not the same thing. And they could go with that, and they won't do it.
Yeah, well, I agree with Matt Deckard again. Where basically, I think with pop culture now, we don't have when we were kids, everybody, you had your, unless you had cable, you're one of those rich kids that had cable or satellite, you had your 13 channels, you had your NBC, ABC, CBS. Everybody watched the same shows. So you had pop culture because everybody was watching Cheers, everybody was watching Cosby Show, everybody was watching She-Ra, He-Man.
Yeah.
Thundercats,
Punky
Transformers,
Brewster.
Punky Brewster. So
Knight Rider.
when we've got
A-Team,
limited entertainment choices, everybody's watching. So you have this massive fan base. But now the internet has come in and there's unlimited entertainment choices. So everybody's fragmented. So there is no pop culture anymore because it's not popular because you've got little fragments of people.
Well, if you do see pop culture, it's more in the movies because you don't have as many movies, as you do. I mean, like a YouTube show and TV shows and everything else. What are you going to say now?
Elvic says, why do they do nostalgia bait but drastically alter the material?
Well, I think that's what people are mad about.
I think because they think it's going to sell, and or they know they have eyes and ears, and if they're trying to push some sort of, again, it's like fanfic. It's like taking a fanfic, creating, inserting your own characters into this pre-established work.
It has name recognition, so people are going to hear it. Media's going to hear the name. Oh, I remember that. I remember that as a kid, and they're going to get excited about it, even if it's balls. They're going to push it. They're going to promote it because and you're always going to have people, no matter what's put out, no matter how shitty it is, if they're a fan of it, they're going to love it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the most god-awful thing ever. But I'm a fan. I'm a true fan, so I love it no matter what you give me. You're giving me something, so I'm happy.
So if, Dynamite announced we're going to do this new kids comic that's sort of based on, shows from the 1980s, but has strong LGBTQ overtones to it, nobody would give a shit.
Some people would, but not people that usually
Well, no, but
things.
I'm just saying,
the media would love it.
The vast majority of people, like, it might sell 2,000 copies, maybe, but you slap, Rainbow Brite on it, and it's gonna sell. At least the first issue will sell.
Yeah, see, we're both like, at least the first issue. I mean, I'd probably buy it just to see, because we don't know what it's gonna be. There is no examples.
We can't
other than the cover.
say, and that's kind of interesting.
And it might be awesome. We don't know yet.
It's only come out in a couple months. There's no preview pages, which is odd.
And it might be really cool. It's possible.
Might be. I mean, we're just saying, just in general, like, hot on the heels of the She-Ra thing, it's like you clearly they keep going back to the same well, but then they're always kind of going back to that well and putting their own personal spin on it, which is
Inkers. We were just doing a thing about Webtoons the other day, because we're on Webtoons too, and there's a lot of, and we tell people, if you're going to do your own comic, go to Webtoons, put it up, because there's already a built-in fan base of people looking for new things on Webtoons, and you already have an audience. Like, back in the day, you had to go find your audience and you had to bring them to your website. With Webtoons, it's great in the fact that you have a lot of eyeballs there. You're not going to make money doing Webtoons, most likely, but you're going to get a lot of eyeballs, and you can maybe turn them into monetization methods through Patreon or crowdfunding later. But anyway, back to the other thing. So off of this also, so there's another controversy going on, which I mentioned before, which is the DC Superhero Girls, and they had a DC Superhero Girls show. And it was really great. It was on the internet. It was like little episodes online. They did like Monster High.
Yeah,
they did the same thing.
Webisodes.
And our daughter loved them. She has like all the dolls. Loves DC Superhero Girls. And they were really cute, really good. They looked like that. They were very cute. They're definitely they looked definitely feminine, but they were kick-ass, and it was, a good show. Well, it's only been out for a couple years, and then they decided they want to bring it to TV. So, of course, when we want to bring it to TV, we can't leave it as it is. We have to do something drastic to get attention. It's like IHOP changing themselves to, the burgers. So we're going to go get Lauren Faust to go make new Superhero Girls. And when they announced this, it went over very badly.
Yeah, so they do a more stylized, angry version.
They all look pissed
of Superhero Girls. They all do look pissed, and these are the female
and the parents.
Comments.
And this is now
the parents.
When people are like, it's not for you. No, it's for girls. That's their target audiences.
Whoa.
These are the parents. These are the people who are buying the toys for their daughters.
Right. And this is what could potentially happen with She-Ra, I think, too, if they bring out toys. And this is Mattel, too. Superhero Girls is Mattel, too. So Mattel can't afford to screw up, and they're screwing this all up.
And I knew about this when it came out, because I followed the DC Superhero Girls page, because my daughter loves it. And this is what the reaction was, because we had Lauren Faust. We have to do like this crazy weird feet on these guys, too.
Yeah, I know. They look like hooves. So Louise Robson, this looks so wrong. My daughter was losing interest, as is in the UK. We have a handful of full episodes and books. This will turn her off completely. Well done, DC. You had a perfect fan base of young girls who loved it for what it was and had great representations for girl power. You could have had a whole new generation getting into comic books. I fear this will lose them completely. My 9-year-old daughter, who has all the dolls, DVDs, and graphic novels, actually cried when I showed her
She-Ra.
this.
It's
her. Way to go, gang. Let's hope you take these comments into consideration. That rarely happens, but let's hope. Why do studios mess with winners? They're just saturating the industry and risk losing longtime fans. So why the tiny wasted art style? The whole reason I collected this line was because they weren't ridiculous.
It was true.
What a slap in the face to children and parents. You introduced a new universe to our children with short videos, toys, clothing, costumes, books, and a load of other products, all depicting the original animation style. Then you announce a series is coming, blah, 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 blah. Basically, no, we don't like it. Liking or disliking the animation style is not the real issue at hand. Rather, the slap in the face to all the parents and children by changing it now. It's only been out for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, a couple years. I enjoyed the mini episodes. Loved the art style. Perfect for the message. Girls can kick butt and save the day. It reminds me of Teen Titans Go. It's a total flop. Please don't change this. So this came out.
And on
it's pages
and on.
of this, and people and then they're like, when people are like, well, it's not for you. Well, you know what? It is, because these are the actual parents and children that actually watch the show who it's actually flipping for. And why they keep doing this. Oh my God, this pisses me off so bad. But like, my daughter saw this and she's like, go back to the original picture. The DC superhero girls. Okay. See, there they are. My daughter's comment, go back to the new one, is why the hell does Supergirl... Well, she didn't say the hell. She's like,
I was going to say, why is she saying she's like 10?
Like, what's wrong with Supergirl? Why does she look like she's going to kill somebody? And what happened to her hair?
Yeah, Supergirl looks really...
She's like, Supergirl's gonna... It like, scares her. She's like, what? She's just gonna like, you know... She's probably like, that looks like you, Mom. No.
No.
You know, it's just like, why? And the thing is, it's not like this is an old thing. This is a new thing that's popular, and you're changing it now because you're moving to television.
Yeah, Super Cosmic Mutant, Honey, Candle Squid. Yeah, it does feel like the anger came because they rebooted too soon. Yeah, I mean, seriously, that is a huge problem because they brought the dolls out. The dolls have actually been hugely successful.
Our daughter has all of them. She loves them.
She loves them.
I made her a cake with Harley Quinn for her birthday. Remember? I actually made a figure cake with Harley Quinn for her birthday because she loves it so much.
But the thing is that like and Mattel shot them because Mattel does make the dolls. Mattel screwed up Monster High too because again, our daughter was into Monster High. They rebooted Monster High to make them more friendly because I guess the monsters were too scary or something, and they rebooted it through the entire the original timeline out.
Got rid of a bunch of characters.
Threw a bunch of the characters out, and it died. Monster High died within a year of them rebooting it. This is why Mattel is failing miserably. We did another video on, you know, Mattel is just in the gutter right now. And the CEO they brought on board is not going to help.
Well, our daughter, I don't know. I mean, I understand why she has short hair because it's related to that. But our daughter was just like, why does Supergirl look like she wants to kill me? You know, she could understand like why they all look like they want to. The other one was they were fun and it was like there was like relatable drama and they kicked butt. This one just looks like I'm going to destroy you if you look at me cross-eyed. Yeah. This is like Mize. Right? I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, I actually do like Lauren Faust's art style. Again, I think it's the fact that they're rebooting it too soon.
Our daughter kept wondering about the Harley Quinn thing too. She's like, why is Harley Quinn good now?
Yeah, but because she's popular.
Yeah.
I think she's a popular character, so they made her good. But then the problem with that is, like, as parents, it's hard to explain to our daughter, okay, Harley Quinn is one of the good guys, but you know what? You're watching Suicide Squad, and she's a pole dancer, and she kills people. How do you reconcile it? Because I know there were actually little girls going to... they were going to see Suicide Squad because of Harley Quinn, because DC markets Harley Quinn as a good role model to little girls, even going so far as like our kids' book orders.
Yeah.
They have like Harley Quinn's diary, and it's like the DC Comics superhero version of Harley Quinn. And she's this like nice character. She just likes to have a good time, not realizing that the Harley Quinn from the comics is
it's very like
psycho.
Yeah, there's a lot of mental issues there. We'll go to the interview. So there was an interview, guys, that came out about this.
Oh yeah,
recently.
well this is the thing.
Time for SDCC.
This is why, I want to preface this with I do like Lauren Faust's art style. I think it was too soon to read. If this had been like 10 years down the road, it would have been.
I think it works for ponies. I think it worked for Fosters. I don't think I like it for superhero girls. But go ahead.
Yeah,
anyway.
I love Foster.
Anyway, go back to this. Okay, so go down.
Her comments really.
Well, I think it's a turn somebody else to interview. Go down. So they do an interview, and then they said, this show seems really empowering for children. What's your goal for this series, particularly girls? I think we think about this for a second, because I think far too often when people make stuff for girls, it's less about inspiring them, less about entertaining them, and less about reflecting their own experiences back to them. Kettle or pot. All too often, it's about telling them how we expect them to behave, and hate that. I don't want to do that. You know, but that's what you're doing. Okay, anyway, and then, well, you're scrolling right past her.
Sorry, I was trying to find the
one that really made me mad?
Yeah.
Hold on. So this stereotype was showing for girls. Is that the one? They're talking about toxic masculinity. Hold on, let me go down and find it. Is it? Go down, because I don't know how you have it set up. There's a comment, though. Okay, in the past year,
here we go.
There's been a rise in toxic masculinity, to say the least. Do you have hopes as a mother for this show to impact boys in the way they treat young girls?
This is coming from Comic Book Resources. Okay, so this is not the showrunners. This is one of the showrunners being asked a really freaking odd question by the quote-unquote reporter at Comic Book Resources
about how he's bringing toxic masculinity into it.
They brought it in because she's even like,
everything's toxic masculinity.
Yeah, she's even like, that's a really interesting question. ... Like, how the hell do I answer this? Because that's really freaking odd. That kind of reminds me of some of the other like with oh my god, I can't think of the example. Never mind.
Well, I was going to say something here.
Okay.
I think the way to get respect is to demand respect. Okay, here's my problem with that. Yeah, that's what you want to say. I want to demand respect. And that's the problem we have here, is because they don't earn respect. They don't behave in a way that you want to respect them. They demand it. Like, it's going to be this way because I said so, and you're going to respect me because I'm in this position up here and you're not. And you're just a fan, you don't count. Because just because you bought tickets doesn't give you ownership and everything. Unless it's Buffy, then we think we have ownership.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, that made me mad. It's like, how the way to get respect is to demand respect? Yes and no, because I think it's always been respect is earned. If you demand respect, you know, now it doesn't mean everyone's going to be necessarily chime in and do the thing you're supposed to do, but you have to own it first. You have to show people that you deserve, and then you can either do it or not do it. But which is it? Do you demand it, or do you earn it? And and then why are we talking about toxic masculinity with superhero girls? I mean, I was like,
no, because
I haven't seen men being toxic masculinity towards DC superhero girls.
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of I mean, I don't understand what the malfunction is here, but I think what gets me is, comic book resources, quote unquote reporter asking the showrunners that question reminds me of, I was going to say Tom Hardy. I was remembering somebody was asking Tom Hardy about his sexuality in an interview, and he's basically like, what does that have to do with anything?
It doesn't.
What does that have to do with anything? Because reportedly he's bi. I don't think he's ever come out and actually said he was, but he's basically like, shut up and just ask me questions that relate to.
Right, what you're supposed to relate it to.
Right.
It's like, why would you bring toxic masculinity to this? It has nothing to do with it. It's a show for girls, and they're rebooting it with a new design for the TV show. Toxic masculinity has absolutely nothing to do with this show.
No.
Or the audiences surrounding it. And I'm tired of everything being blamed on toxic fandom, toxic masculinity. Well, there's toxic feminism too. I can tell you for a fact, and I'm a girl, I've come across it multiple times, where I have been questioned about everything because, well, you're married, so you're not feminist enough, or you have kids, so you're not feminist enough, or you do a character as a girl who likes a boy, you're not feminist enough. There's just as much toxic, even though they say it doesn't exist, there's toxic feminism
there's
too.
Toxic feminism from male people in the industry. So
we talked about that before.
Funny story. Well, for those who didn't actually catch on, one point in time we had a literary agent.
Mm-hmm.
We'll not name names, but this literary agent was a very woke male.
This person is a lot of the people that are at the center of all these things he represents. Let's put it that way.
This person, he reps a lot of the club comics people in comics. Told Geeky, because she had a character liking a boy in one of her pitches, that just wasn't going to work.
No, yeah, because my character liked the boy, and at the end of the story, he smiled at her, and she was happy about it because he smiled at her. Well, she must be a weak character because she needs his validation. And I was like, okay, have you been a teenage girl? No, I was a teenage girl, and let me tell you, and I work with teenage girls. Let me tell you that it doesn't matter if you like girls or boys and you're a girl. Validation and your self-worth is determined by the person you liking you back. And no matter what they try to tell you, it's not. That's why the 80s stories, were like Pretty in Pink and all that were so popular, because it gets to the core of it, is that whether or not you should base your identity on it is irrelevant. You will base your identity and your self-worth on whether they like you or not. So having the boy you like smile at you is a big deal. And you're and your friends and you're all like, oh my God, let's go talk on the phone for 3 hours and analyze everything he did. That's his teenage behavior. He looked at me this way, but he didn't look at me this way. What do you think it means? That's how teenage girls act. I know, because I was one. I work with them and kiss my ass. Sorry, but it's like there is toxic feminism as much as there is toxic masculinity, as much as there's toxic fandoms. It exists. There are a small amount of people.
Yeah, it blows my mind that you're like a kid show. This should have nothing to do, even asking the showrunner that question, which is such a ridiculous question to ask about.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with, and they try to bring boys into it. It's like, it's for everybody, including boys. Well, yeah, boys like superhero girls. I'm all, more power to them. I really don't care if boys like superhero girls or not. I mean, that's cool. When I was a girl, you know what I liked? I would go play Barbie, and I would watch, She-Ra, and I would watch, all the girl shows. But I always watched He-Man. I watched, I loved Mask. Mask was my favorite.
Yeah.
Transformers. I'd play with my brother as Transformers and cars, and then I'd go play dolls with my sister. So I've absolutely, and when we were kids, you were allowed to like girl stuff. Like Care Bears were popular for everybody.
Yeah.
Cabbage Patch Kids were popular for everybody. And it wasn't until recently that there was this great divide between boys and girls and what's feminine and masculine, and then they're mad about it. Like, they create it, and then they're pissed about it. I don't get it.
I know.
So boys want to watch superhero girls, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. But it is kind of a weird thing, and I do agree with a couple of folks in here that
Sorry, I'm not even reading comments.
I think it's
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to. I'm trying to keep up.
I'm not even reading.
We're not ignoring
He
anyone.
is.
Trying to, but they're talking about how the Mattel's trying to catch up with Hasbro, but they just keep shooting themselves in the foot again and again.
Yeah.
The new She-Ra is not being received well. This was not received well. So after they put the Facebook post up for this, they basically, if you go to their page, they buried this completely. Like, they don't have anything.
They have the old ones back on top.
Yeah, it's all
and they keep showing the new
art
episodes.
style, the old
but they're still going forward with it because that was an interview recently talking about the new design.
But it's all the current version of DC superheroes, which is, I guess, the girlier version of whatever. But it's, we had to dig and dig and dig to find the Lauren Faust announcement, because it was like it had such a negative reaction that they just like buried it in there. And it's kind of the same with Rainbow Brite. Like, it's not getting a good reaction from longtime fans of the show. And I don't even know. Here, let's just go.
I think Rainbow Brite's kind of mixed reaction.
Let's go check.
But we don't know enough about Rainbow Brite to make that call yet. So we're not going to make that call yet, because we don't know. Oh, they might have saw your other video. No, it's still low.
Oh my God. Rainbow Brite hasn't gone up at all in likers.
She-Ra.
Or She-Ra, I'm sorry. God, same
Get
thing.
them right, dang it.
Whatever. That girl show from the... No, She-Ra, sorry about that. It's live. I can't edit that out. So She-Ra has not gone up at all. It still only has 2,500 people liking it. They haven't posted anything new from She-Ra since July 16th, because I think the reactions were pretty not good.
Well, no, they wouldn't found their friends to go back it up.
Even my 9-year-old's upset.
But it's not for her. It's not for any. It's only for people who like it. If you like it,
ugly.
If you like it, it's for you. If you don't like it, it's not for you. That's the go-to.
And here a dude with a beard. This looks amazing. Who cares? I don't know.
But so basically, they it's like when they do with our videos. Someone finds it, goes to their friends, go in there and beat on us and downvote it, because we have to make sure we show them. And it's like, I don't even read your comments, so bite me. But yeah, what were you saying?
I wasn't gonna say anything.
You thought you were gonna say something.
No, I'm just like, it's just interesting. Like, they, these companies drop these reboots, and then they have a backlash from female fans. And then they go and they attack male fans.
Yeah, they attack male fans. That's a narrative.
For the reaction from the negative reaction, which is predominantly from female fans.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm mad about. And the same happened with She-Ra. It happened with Star Wars. It happened with Starfire. It's like how people make a comment that are the male about, I don't like this, and then there's a lot of women backing them up. But then they cherry pick what. Oh, well, you're just. Oh, look, you're racist. You don't like her because you're racist. No, we don't like her because they made her look like a hooker and she doesn't like Starfire.
Oh my God, that made me so bad. I mean, we were gonna do a video on that. We didn't have time to. The whole deal with Starfire, like, the same news outlet, the Mary Sue, was like, no, don't reboot Buffy as a black woman. I'm like,
don't touch our sacred cow.
But then the next day they're like, racists are attacking Teen Titans for casting Starfire, a black actress as Starfire. It's like, no, that's not what's going on. What's going on is they made Starfire look as terrible as they possibly can make her. Yeah. She doesn't look like Starfire. She looked like a hooker.
Yeah,
and nothing to do with the color of her skin.
And there's a bunch of women that are different ethnicities that cosplay Starfire and look amazing.
Oh yeah,
had nothing to do with that. But they took what they wanted to take from it, and then they start this false narrative, and they start spinning these stories out of control on it. And then a lot of people, which I've got into it with somebody the other day about this, is they don't look into it for themselves. They just believe what they read in the media, especially people that are in comics and in pop culture things, especially. They have ties to that kind of stuff. They don't even look into it. They just read the media and automatically get offended and I'm going to go fight for the rights of these people without knowing that's not really what's going on.
This is what, and Black cosplayers do Starfire. There were some amazing African-American Starfire cosplayers. People were posting pictures just to prove a point.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're amazing.
You can make, the actress, they actually had a mock-up in Photoshop of her as Starfire, and the Photoshop mock-up looked 1,000 times better than, and it's not just Starfire. I mean, really, all the costumes except for Robin look like garbage on the show.
Yeah,
the show looks like trash.
Yeah,
it looks like a horrible show.
But Starfire's orange. It doesn't matter what color person is, they can play Starfire. I mean, it's not like, And even then, even if you're a different ethnicity, you could do a character. I know we went to one convention once, and our daughter was so excited because there was a amazing Draculaura cosplayer, and she's
Oh god, yeah, her
like
costume
the
was
wings. She had like the skeleton
freaking
wings,
amazing.
and that from like the birthday. I think it was the birthday episode. I can't remember which. Our daughter, and she was black, and our daughter didn't even phase her. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's Draculaura!"
She was amazing.
And all she wanted to do was get pictures of this girl and like go up
Yeah.
and want to talk to her because she didn't even phase her because all she saw was Draculaura. And she didn't see it as oh, that's a black Draculaura. No, it's just Draculaura.
Well, that's the same with like, I mean, honestly, if the studios are doing their job right, the person's race
Has
shouldn't
nothing
matter
to
at
do
all.
with
They
it.
should be the right fit for the part. I don't think anybody is going to argue that David Hasselhoff made a better Nick Fury than Samuel L. Jackson.
Wait, they're not gonna argue that? I'd argue that.
Or I'm sorry,
it
I
backwards.
can't. Never mind. This is live, isn't it?
Samuel L.
Shoot.
Jackson's better than David Hasselhoff. That's
Samuel
what
L. Jackson's better. I've had a very, very long week.
he did. We
I've been on the road.
ended up going to two places at the same time.
Elvig, odd how nobody complains about Gamora. Yeah, thank you. Exactly.
We were saying that too.
I mean, this is what I mean. Oh, thank you for the super chat. You did not have to do that, but thank you so much. Yeah, this is what is pissing me off is this false narrative of like, the only people that don't like what's going on in pop culture right now are these angry white men who hate any person of color, who hate anybody who's gay, who hate anything that's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's such a fake, phony,
let's look
bullshit,
at why.
manufactured lie.
Why would
it's a lie.
Why would you manufacture it? Let's look at this. Why would you manufacture that lie? Why does it behoove you to manufacture that lie and that narrative and keep spreading that narrative and marginalize people who don't fit that narrative? It behooves you to do this because then you can get all the media agreeing with you and saying these things, which you can then, as a different kind of person of different whatever race, nationality, gender, whatever, can then go to these places and say, "Hey, I wanted to reboot this, but let's make this person this because, well, because that's what people want because these people over here are just the haters and you don't want to listen to them. Don't listen to them. They're labeled as haters. Their opinion doesn't matter. So it behooves them to get this out there because then they can get more and more of what they want while having everybody over here just automatically dismissed."
Right.
As misogynist, incel, racist haters, even though it's not true, it's all dismissed because, and then they get to keep more pie for themselves.
Thank you, Random Jasmine. Yeah. Gamora is a green-skinned alien. It doesn't matter if the actress is black or white or Asian or Hispanic. She has green skin. Starfire has orange or gold skin. Just, it doesn't matter who plays her. Just make her look like Starfire. How hard is that?
But they took people being upset about her not looking like Starfire and turned it into some race debate, which it never was to begin with.
It was never a race debate. It was like, my God, why did they pick and a lot of people were like, she's a beautiful actress. Why did you pick somebody that was beautiful and make her look like garbage? Mm-hmm. And make her look nothing like the character. Nothing like the character.
But like you said, to be fair, a lot of the characters look nothing like they should.
They don't.
Like
I mean, all of it. But Starfire, I think in particular, because Starfire is such a beloved character. People freaking love Starfire and quirky Starfire from the cartoon show, not so much sex crazed Starfire from the comics. But Starfire is a crazy popular character, and people wanted to see her done right, and they just didn't do right by her.
Someone said here about how long can the media realistically continue to spread this narrative until people see their lies. That's the problem. People have to actually look to see the lies, and they don't. They just see what they want to. They see what's out there, immediately get outraged, don't check into it, and then just keeps more people perpetuate it. So it's all about. It's not even about the truth. It's about clicks. It's about clickbait. It's about keeping a narrative going that's not true to your own gains. There's a lot of reasons. It's a game.
You're being played. You're all being played. I mean,
so why do they keep for She-Ra? Why is it there's mostly women who hate it, but the narrative you're hearing
you'll
is
never
all
hear
these
that.
men
You'll
hate
never
it.
hear that.
But there's mostly women, I think, who are against it, and we're just completely ignored. Like we don't even count in the argument. Which don't put me in a corner because I'll just get pissed.
Okay, so I'm trying to keep up here. Yeah, did they paint Beast Boy green? No, I don't think they did. I think this is budget cut. And Starfire, now from what I saw of her, like when she used her power, it looks like her skin like burns orange underneath her. Like, yeah, I think it comes down to like, and the reason Cyborg isn't it, I'm telling you, one of two reasons. Either because Cyborg is in Justice League or Cyborg is crazy expensive.
Oh, yeah.
To create. You can't, short of putting some really stupid looking prosthetics on him, Cyborg
for a budget movie, yeah.
For a low,
they did okay. They did pretty good.
They spent all the money on Robin's costume.
Why did they do anything good about with Cyborg and did the Justice League movie? They actually did pretty good on that.
Yeah, I think Cyborg was okay. I mean, he looked a little weird sometimes. So Cyborg CG was still better than Superman's lips. Okay, and it wasn't great CG, but by the end of the movie, when he was sort of more complete, he looked better, I think.
About the Star Wars thing, we're going to talk about some stuff with Star Wars, not in this one, a different one. But yeah, I've seen some racist, sexist Star Wars complaints, but I've seen a lot of people that aren't on those things. Like, I just like the movie. Actually, it's funny. They keep saying that's all misogynists who hate it, that you can't stand strong female characters and things. But all my friends that were guys, including Neon, who didn't like it, their reasoning for not liking it had nothing to do with not strong characters. It has everything to do with the fact that the story sucked. They raised a lot of questions it didn't answer. They kind of destroyed Luke. It did a bunch of other stuff. The person who had a problem with the over-the-top Mary Sue female characters and stuff was me, and I'm the girl. But I'm also a writer, which might be part of the reason. But I'm the girl. Yeah. But go ahead.
No, I'm just like, the Mary Sue is
just weird.
She looks strange. I mean, she's more orange when she's using her power.
Look, it's the new Doctor. It's regeneration. I'm sorry.
She's regenerated. It's River. River's coming back
as a new Doctor.
So I mean, it's weird. No, I think what's making me, really upset, again, being a white dude, is like, it doesn't matter who's angry about what, it's always my fault.
Oh, because you're a
yes,
white guy.
It's like, it's always my fault. It doesn't matter if some other tangent of some other, group of people are pissed off about something. Somehow, it's going to be my fault.
Yeah. So, wait, are we Mary Jade or Mara Jade? Are you talking? I'm trying to follow this. What's going on? Because Mara Jade is like my favorite character from Star Wars ever. I love Mara Jade. I wanted to be Mara Jade. I loved her. Anyway, I wasn't sure because I said Mary Jade, so I wasn't sure to talk about Mara Jade or Mary Jade that I'm unfamiliar with. If you're talking about Star Wars, Mara Jade was amazing.
Yeah, well, there was talk. I don't know we got to catch up with what's going on with episode 9, but they were talking that they were going to try to shoehorn Mara Jade into.
Okay, well, we're going to do another episode of that later. We're going to be talking about some stuff with that on another pod or a cast or whatever they call this.
Yeah, Heath Ledger's Joker did look amazing. I thought, and it was the actor too.
But you met Mara Jade because Mara Jade is awesome. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. I'm just like, it's just such a weird situation right now where, and I think this is kind of freaking out. Like, I'm looking at the Mary Sue and they're like, become a Mary Sue subscriber. I don't know if this is a new thing or not, but I think the ad revenue on these pop culture sites is dropping. So they're freaking out and creating outrage to try. But what they're doing is they're trying to manipulate. They don't want the audience they have. Like, I get this. Like, with the pop in the last couple of years, it's like, they don't want the nerds they have. They want to make new nerds in their own image, and they want them to like and think the same that they do.
That's it. They want everybody they want a yes man club. They want everybody to agree with them. And what happened back in the day, you could disagree and you could still be friends, and that was okay. And now if you don't agree 100%, well, you are just as bad as people who 100% disagree with me, and I don't want to look at you. I'm going to cover my ears and plug my ears and close my eyes and go, yeah, I don't hear you. And yes, Mara Jade is awesome. Yay. Anyway.
Yeah, so they want new nerds. They want to make their own nerds creature.
Nerds in their own image.
Nerds in their own image.
They want minions. They want minions, basically, not nerds.
I mean, this is it. Look, I'm old. Okay, I'm old.
Well, I'm older than you. So
okay, well, I'm just saying.
You're moderately no, I don't know what to call you.
Middle age.
You're not middle. We're not. I don't know. I'm older than you.
I remember the '80s. Let's put it that way. I remember the '80s very well. I grew up in the '80s, so that gives you an idea of how old we are. But the thing is, we've seen from that vantage point, kind of seen like the difference in nerd culture now compared to back then. Back then, you're kind of a misfit, and we all kind of found each other.
I love Star Wars, and I took so much crap for being a girl who loves Star Wars. It wasn't cool back then to be a girl who likes Star Wars.
Well, I think that's why it hurt, because people who were into pop culture back in the 80s, who were into comic books and Dungeons and Dragons and video games and these cartoon shows, anime. I mean, I was watching anime before anybody even knew what freaking anime was. Those of us who were into that sort of thing found each other. Like this is before the internet. Like, somehow we get together at the comic shop or whatever, and we would find each other.
You had things in common, but you didn't agree on everything. But you had enough in common to be, to be friends,
right,
and get along,
right. And so you had that commonality, and everybody just sort of like, found. But then, like, with the internet coming in, and being able to bring more people into the fandom, I think what really kind of happened was you had people come into fandoms with the express purpose of recreating that fandom in their own image. So instead of coming in and being
Which
like,
doesn't make you a real fan of it, I wouldn't think. Because if you're
no,
a fan,
you're
you
not.
love it as it is.
Right.
You don't need to redo it as, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to make She-Ra as your She-Ra. It would be, you love She-Ra, that kind of thing.
Right. And so what's going on is they're like coming in, they're taking a look like, I want to be part of this thing. But it's almost like having that girlfriend or boyfriend that's like, I love you, I just want to change everything about you.
Right, yeah.
But then you're not really in love with that person. So
you're in love with your idea of that person,
right,
that relationship.
your fanfic.
Not that person.
Right. So what's going on is you've got these people coming in who are like, I love this fandom. I love the idea of fandom. I love this, but let's change everything because it's just not working for me.
I love everything. I'm a big fan. I've been a fan for like, all the 2 weeks I saw it on Netflix, and I'm a huge fan. But we need to we have to change it all.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with this about the money. I think the money did come up once nerd culture became mainstream and profitable. Then you've got the Hollywood types coming in, the poser types coming in, who basically want to change it and use that platform for political purposes, which is balls because this is not the true fandom.
I'm trying to understand about the spark. Aren't you happy they haven't sparkly geeky Vader shirts now? Wait, they don't.
They don't have. Sparkly...
I would have wore sparkly geeky Vader.
I know,
shirt.
right?
I would have worn one. I'm glad. I like it either way. And then somebody else said about Mara Jade not being canon anymore. I know she's not canon anymore. It makes me so angry. Even though they might bring her back. There's talk they might bring her back. I'm not canon anymore either. Because I actually I bring this up because this is my okay. Proud geek cred moment. I'm actually in the books. It is named after me. If you look up Wikipedia and look up Cambria, that is named after me. I die, and only in 2 books, but damn it, it was named after me.
She's a female devil.
Well, that's about right.
Yeah. No, it's actually I reached out to Kevin Anderson and asked him because my wife's name is very unusual, and he's like, yeah, that's totally her. So
he said she had the letter, and you said yes, yeah. Which I have.
Yeah.
And he's like, then that's her. And so yes, I'm no longer canon either, though.
So Geeky Sparkles, she's been decanonized. She was in 2 Young Jedi Knights books because she was such a super fan of the Star Wars.
That was a badass villain.
She was.
It took a whole wall to fall on me to kill me. So anyway, but
oh no! See, during the battle, Cambria was crushed by a wall of crates.
But it was still a wall of something. That's right. It takes and look, it's crates, which they now named Crate. So it's my honor. I named it Crate after me. Sorry, but anyway, my point is, that Mara Jade is no longer canon. But I think they might bring her back. But that's a whole other. We're gonna do a whole other video on this. But anyway, go ahead. Back to what we were talking about.
What were we talking about? Because we're all over the place.
Yeah. Well, we're basically that's okay. So basically, we don't know what's gonna happen with Rainbow Brite. They're bringing her back for sure. We don't know what they're going to do with it. Luckily, it's just in a comic form, so it won't ruin it too badly. It doesn't really matter.
The comic books, the tie-in comics aren't canon. This is not like they're doing a new TV show. But this quote right here, and knowing who's working on it, I mean, this
makes
pretty
us
much
nervous.
Tells me everything we need to know about it. I think it's going to be a very woke Rainbow Brite.
But luckily, it's only in comic form, and it probably won't.
It'll be contained to the 10 comic book shops that are still open.
But if you are a Rainbow Brite fan and you want original Rainbow Brite, make sure you check out Hallmark because they have a bunch of really awesome re-released Rainbow Brite that looks like the original, including the DVD with the original seasons.
Yeah, the original Rainbow Brite was actually pretty badass. I saw it.
Starstealer was pretty creepy.
I went to the theater. I was a boy when Starstealer came out. I think I was like 9.
Well, they had boys in the show.
Yeah, they did. They had the Chris whatever with his freaking Onyx, the
Onyx
robot horse, which was badass. That was a badass
Onyx
movie, and it was dark too because I think they killed the princess at the end of it. Like they killed her.
Yeah, they did.
Like they killed her, like the bitchy princess. It looked like Molly Ringwald. Yeah, they killed her. So, Nerd Wonder's in. Hi, Nerd Wonder. But yeah, so Rainbow Brite coming back. She's gonna be pretty woke, I think.
We don't know yet.
It's a guess. We're guessing. We haven't seen enough.
I don't understand why they make a cover like that. If they weren't gonna make her more like that, but because they showed the original art on the other covers, and it makes me a little bit. You're gonna look it up now, Chris.
Yeah,
it was Chris, and then they had
this freaking robot horse.
Onyx. It was like a Trojan horse, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. Somebody's house is on fire.
There's fire
yeah,
whistles.
but he was like a robot. He had jet feet. Like he had jet feet, and my grandparents actually took me to the movie theater to see this when I was little, and I didn't think much about it. I'm just like, yeah, I'll go see it, because it was a sci-fi movie with freaking robot horses and all kinds of crazy stuff, spaceships, and it was cool. It was cool.
Well, you have to watch out for him. He had red hair and blue eyes, so you know he's dangerous. Anyway.
Oh, he did. He took his helmet off. Yeah, I didn't realize he took his helmet off. Okay.
So anyway,
I thought he was like Mega Man. I thought it was just like permanently attached to his head.
The Awakening, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah,
that's what they're going to do next.
Wonder stepping in, they're
and
doing
DC Superhero Girls, they already are, even though that's a new thing and that's their thing, but they already rebooted it, and it hasn't even been out for more than 2 years. Look, we have to reboot it and make it more edgy.
People haven't seen it. Oh my God, they haven't seen Rainbow Brite and the Star Stealer is like one of the best 80s, like, because like every 80s cartoon show had a movie. Transformers the movie, G.I. Joe the movie, My Little Pony the movie, Rainbow Brite and the Star Stealer, like 5 people went to the theater to see it.
I love it. We had our kids have watched it since they were little.
It was actually
the girl
really
that was
good.
mean, she was like whack, but beyond that, she was
except for the musical.
She wanted Rainbow Brite because she wanted her belt. Remember?
Oh my God!
And that's where Rainbow Brite gets her rainbows out of her belt, and she stole her belt. So, and then you got the fan art above, but anyway.
But the princess, I'm pretty sure they kill her off at the end. Like, actually kill her.
I'm pretty sure they do. They do.
And she's like enslaved all the
back in the 80s, they
sprites.
like My Little Ponies fought Tyrak, which is basically Satan. And, back then, 80s characters, man, they didn't mess around, But now, with the rebooted 80s, we're all like, what was our son saying? Or someone saying about these new shows, the problem with these new shows is that there is no, battle. It's like we have to talk it out. Now my enemy's my friend. And I agree with discussion on some levels. But I also know sometimes, you're going to have to fight back, and you can't just be friends with everyone.
Like, this is the original movie poster for it. Like, this is the most, 80s freaking spaceships, a space horse, and a rainbow in the blackness, airbrushed,
And that's on a van. That should be on a van.
That should be on a van. I swear to God.
This should be on a van.
But look at this, crap. This was the movie. The movie was, really... It was almost like watching. It was like heavy metal for kids. It was a freaking Rainbow Brite movie.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Oh my
Rainbow
God,
Brite and the Star Stealer.
It was actually really good.
We have it. It's pretty.
She
fun.
tried to escape her Greegar kill. That's right. I haven't seen it in a while, but yeah. She blew. Yeah, she killed.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was a Greek.
Oh my God! It's like the whole neighborhood on fire. All these fire trucks.
There's a bunch of fire trucks going off, or fire alarms. But that's what my son was saying. The Steven Universe method of conflict. Exactly. He's like, you see these shows, and that's basically the method. The conflict is, we don't really have a fight. We just talk it out and be friends.
Hey, this is pretty cool. That's a good costume. I like that. No, he was just talking about that. Our son, Sweet King, just talked about this today. He's basically on these new shows, there is no fighting. They have to everybody talks it out. This is what SJWs think that happened. They basically convert you.
I'm not going to blame everyone. I'm saying these people.
No, but once they convert you and you think like they do, then we can
fight them.
Then we can all be friends.
Yes, you have to convert you to. Yeah, it is. They're always converting you to their way of thought, and then you're the enemy until you agree with us, and then we're friends. It's like, yes. Now you mention it. Yes.
It is. No, I said before, because I said that the kind of the SJW attitude toward. It's almost like a religion where they're trying to get you to convert to their religion. And it kind of reminds me of some of the the Christian movie propaganda I used to see when I was a kid was like, oh, this person's awful until they accept Jesus, and now they're okay. Now you can talk to them, and we're all gonna hang out together. And that Steven Universe basically is and I watch Steven Universe. I like Steven Universe for what it is, but that's what it is. It's all the bad guys, the big bad guys, the diamonds, whatever. They all got to be good guys because they all got to see.
I never thought
Steven's got to convert everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of, and it's yeah. Yeah, now you mentioned, you said about the religious cult. My mom was telling me a story about this woman she knows, and her daughter is friends with this other woman, and her daughter's friend. Okay, her daughter's friend is this other woman, and this other woman's mother would not let her get in a car with this other lady's daughter because the other lady's daughter, she doesn't know if she's Christian or not, and what if something happened? And I'm like, and then they died. I'm like, what would happen if they died? Because if you're Christian, you believe you go to heaven. So what difference does it make if the person driving with you isn't? I'm like, what are you gonna do if you're on a plane? What are you going to do if you're on a bus? I mean, are you all baptized?
No, I mean,
if not, I'm screwed.
This is what it reminds me of, because these people, especially on Twitter, they won't follow people with differing ideas because they're afraid of being tainted. They're afraid that their religion is going to come into question, or they're going to be questioned on their beliefs because they're palling around with people that don't believe the same things they do, just like religion. It's so freaking weird, and they're constantly, either they convert you or they try to kill your career. And
Right.
it's insane. It's
Well,
absolutely insane.
it goes along with that narrative of where you keep trying to marginalize certain groups, or make them the enemy, paint them as the enemy, because then, well, if they're all listed as the enemy, everybody believes is the enemy, whether or not they are the enemy, you're going to get more and more what you want. You're going to get more and more pie where they get no pie. You know what I'm saying? Because they're on team you and they're not the enemy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Somebody said about rebooting Care Bears for Cartoon Network. Let's think a bit deeper. Fancy human appearance action girls. No, I'm just sitting here thinking like they reboot Care Bears as like anthropomorphic, human characters
They haven't
or
done that
something
yet. Luckily,
like
they've stayed
furry Care Bear
mostly Care
furries or
Bears.
something like.
Mostly they've stayed Care Bears, thank God. But well, anyway, I'm just like saying,
Steven Universe has horrible story pacing. Yeah, I think the reason I actually started watching, I think my thing with Steven Universe is like I watch it because I feel like I have to because I've already got so much time invested in it. But it really is a boring ass show. It's like very, very slow, and it's taken them 5 years to get to the big reveal that everybody figured out the first season.
Yeah, we called that a while ago. We were like, oh, wait, that's what we thought. But yeah, Gravity Falls is good though. I like Gravity Falls.
Yeah, Gravity Falls is awesome, and they knew when to. Gravity Falls knew when to pack it in.
Yeah, there are good shows that are original, but that goes back to the point. We need more originality and less rebooting.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Zoobilee Zoo. Do you remember that? The live action had a bunch of people that would sing and dance, and they were in like furry costumes, and it was a kid show.
I have to go look this up.
Oh my God, look it up. It's Ben. Oh my God, what's his name?
Never heard of this, but I'm kind of curious.
It was Zoobilee Zoo. Yeah, I remember Zoobilee Zoo.
You're gonna sing the song. You never sing. So
yeah, Steven Universe started nicely, went stupid. Yeah,
exactly. I agree with that.
I like Steven Universe because it was almost like Sailor Moon, and again, it's sort of reference.
I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan. Still love Sailor Saturn. Go ahead.
But I was thinking of like Tenchi, Sailor Moon. It reminded me of a lot of those like harem style animes, except instead of having like a harem of girls that were all after Steven, it was like a harem of moms. Like a harem of space moms. A harem of like space moms.
Those two words just don't go together.
Yeah,
my mom harem.
No, it was like Steven, instead of having like a harem of like all these girls, he's had like his mom harem.
Oh God, that's just all kinds.
Ben Vereen, yes, thank you, Ben Vereen. He sang and danced, and he was like a
Ben Vereen
panther or something. I don't remember. They had like a tiger, and they had the kangaroo. I remember she was pink. I think it was a kangaroo.
I gotta look this up. And I know after this is over, he's going to be showing me this as soon as we're done with this. But anyway, we're gonna have to wrap it up because we have things to do. We have
we do have.
We are gonna come back a live show. I don't know if it's gonna be tonight or tomorrow. We're gonna talk about some Star Wars stuff.
We're trying to play catch up on this.
Into the next movie and all.
Oh my God,
stuff.
Bringing Carrie Fisher back via stock footage.
Well, that's better than replacing her.
Yeah, I guess it's better than replacing her.
We're not gonna talk about that. We're saving it for another one. Calm yourself. Okay. Send it your chi.
My chi. So, whether or not you want it, Rainbow Brite's coming back as a comic.
Or not, here she comes.
I don't know how it's going to do. I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. So, but if you want, like I said, you want the toys, you can still get the original toys. They're really cool. We don't know anything yet. When we find out more information about it, we'll let you know. But they are bringing it back, and we'll find out what happens.
Yeah, Lady Hawk, we actually consider ourselves liberal. Well, probably left of center. I think we're more left of center, but I would consider myself like an old school liberal. Like the first president I voted for was actually Bill Clinton. But then I also supported George Bush in his first term too. So, and I support Barack Obama in his first term.
Basically, how we do it is we don't go by party affiliation.
No, it's whoever we think's the right person for the job.
We believe in fairness. We believe in true equality, true fairness, and we basically look at who's running and we vote for whoever we think is best suited for the job and go from there. We don't play the whole, we stay in the middle. We really do mostly.
Most people are.
We do lean left.
I think most people in this country are in the middle somewhere.
But we can't have common ground because then that'll just what are they going to yell about?
So. Yeah, you're far right neo-Nazis. I've actually been called the alt-right.
You got called an alt-right Nazi.
I got called an alt-right Nazi, and I actually got myself kind of in trouble on Twitter because the first time I got called an alt-right Nazi. This is after I posted some Marvel numbers on the one blog I work on, and I was just like, hey, Marvel's not in a good place right now. Maybe politics have something to do with it. Who knows? And I got called an alt-right Nazi, and I'm like, is it because I'm a white guy? Is that because I'm a white guy? I'm a Nazi? Because that's not even,
Yeah. So anyway, are we
Yeah, voting for rapist. Well, you disagree with us, Nazi. Yeah, so this is what dragged us into the Comicsgate situation, and then looking more into pop culture more critically, was basically like, why all of a sudden in 2017, 2018 is Twitter going absolutely batshit insane?
Well, now they're
and
putting these new regulations in place now, where certain who you follow and certain words can maybe get your account banned and stuff.
Yeah, that's concerning. Twitter's got some new safeguards in place that they're going to try to filter accounts based on things that you say.
It's kind of like that movie with that movie where they looked into, they had the psychic and she could see in the future, and if you thought you were going to do something,
Pre-Crime, Minority Report.
Minority Report, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Minority Report. If they think that you might go alt-right, then your account will either be demoted or sort of, muted or something.
Or go the way they think that you're going.
Right.
So anyway, we're going to have to get going because we really do have to go because we have lots to do. And our son's birthday's tomorrow, so I've got to bake a giant cake. And our son, in his true fashion, because I love him to death. He's so funny. He's like, I want my cake. I'm like, okay, what do you want? I want you to have a several layer cake, okay? It needs to be a square. I'm like, okay. And then I want you to write cake on it. And I'm like, okay.
This is also the same kid who wanted to go trick-or-treating as a chair.
He did.
A few years ago.
He went trick-or-treating as a chair. So a chair with a British accent. So I made him a chair costume out of cardboard. He wore the costume, and then when people would say to him, he'd just say, "I'm a chair" at them in the British accent. That's all he'd say. "I'm a chair."
I'm a chair.
And then because of it, one person had a whole bowl full of candy, and they said, "That's best costume ever," and gave him the whole bowl full of candy.
Yeah, they did. It was awesome.
He's just something.
No, Squid King's awesome. We're gonna be doing some I think some more gaming videos with him. Because that's actually how we started the channel, was doing gaming videos with Squid King, and then all of a sudden
we have on there.
We're just like, oh, let's just complain about stuff now.
Okay, so anyway, I'll tell him happy birthday. All right, so we're going to have to go. I have to go make a cake that says cake on it.
Go make that cake that says cake.
Make a cake that says cake.
And yeah, if you want to pre-order Dynamite's Rainbow Brite, I guess you can pre-order it now because that's why they're promoting it. So make sure Uncle Ethan doesn't lick the butter. I don't want anybody licking my butter. I don't care who they are. I don't want you licking my butter. No, Geeky, you can lick my butter. That's okay.
Why do you have to always do this?
Because you've had my butter before.
Oh my god. Anyway,
you have the butter like on toast with the crumbs in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you leave in the butter container. Okay, we're gonna stop this before he says anything else because he's clearly still tired, and we need to stop him now. So we will.
Rainbow Brute. Yeah, I saw Rainbow Brute. It's actually pretty cool. It's like the scary thing is Rainbow Brute was sort of like forecasting She-Man before She-Man was a thing.
Right.
So,
yeah.
All right, so we're going to go.
Yes, we're going to go. All right, we'll catch you guys later.
All right, bye.
Did you find the button?